And this is the path of karma. The word karma means action. We all know that. The path of action is something, the second most popular path, if I can use the word, for the Hindus. This path is very different, very unusual, because the path of karma says, remember I told you Hinduism comes into two flavors, either personality oriented, gods and goddesses, or principle oriented. Now the path of karma perhaps is more suited to people who like to think of religion in a principle oriented manner. What is this principle oriented manner? He says, don't think about God like a personality and sitting in the heaven and dictating the terms. God is not sitting there, He's sitting here. What you see in front of your eyes, the living things, especially human beings, are the most transparent manifestation of what you are searching for in the heaven, here and now, not in the hereafter. Here is your living God, shining out to the eyes of every living thing you come across, becoming most transparently visible as human beings. Is your God here? See, this is called principle-oriented Hinduism, not focusing on Vishnu or Shiva or Mother Goddess anymore. Focusing on humanity. He's saying, look, this is Swami Vivekananda, purest of purest Vivekananda, says, see and serve God in humanity. And the wonderful thing that come out of Vivekananda, this is the modern giant. You've not seen such a giant in the history of Hinduism, I'm telling you. He says, they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. What a dramatic statement. This is the principle-oriented Hinduism. It doesn't seek a God in the heaven. It sees God in humanity, in living things, in the here and now. The karma marg is more suited for these kind of people. The reason is this. What is karma marg? Again, you see, Bhagavad Gita is a very comprehensive text of Hinduism. You find this marvelous teaching. First says Krishna, be active. Don't be passive. Again, you see, human nature is natural from the material kingdom. We like to be full of inertia, full of laziness, full of tamas, like to just take things easy. So the first thing that you require in karma marg is be active. Don't sit back. Stand up and do something. Even if it's wrong, but do something. Be active is the first part of the equation. Be active. Now you say, Dilip, we are all active. We are all kind of busy with our businesses, our university, whatever. The second part of the equation is the tricky one. He says act, but act selflessly. This is not easy. Because right from the time we are born, we are looking after our own self-interest. What else can we do? The food that comes to our mouth. We need all these faculties to look after this body and perhaps this family. So action is natural, but the action is always, if you like, ego-centered, me-centered. So the second part of the equation is tricky. It is asking you to change your emphasis. Don't live for yourself. Don't kind of have a life which is kind of centered around yourself or your little family, me, my wife, my virtue, and my Disney World trip. It must be widened. So the second aspect says be active, but act selflessly. And for you chaps, this is your Maha Mantra. Seva. Serving. Seeing and serving God in humanity. This is karma marg. Purest of pure karma marg. Why is it important? And why does it lead you to making spiritual progress? Let me tell you the secret. The moment you start operating just for your own, look, nothing wrong by looking after yourself. I'm not saying starve yourself and die or something. You continue to look after your interests, keep looking after your family's interests. Don't let them starve and the neighbors are going to come and feed them. You need to earn money to look after your, don't stop that. But slowly expand the people you feel one with. Expand your circle of people you feel close with. This is karma marg. Expand. Don't think, reject your own family and look after them and then grow in stature. Try and take on more and more people as you call your own. Expand the sphere of influence. Why is it important? Why does it make you spiritual? The moment you stop living for yourself and start living for others, this is called selfless activity. You work for the betterment of others, not for yourself. The moment you start doing that, do you know what magic happens? This ego that is kind of blocking your own view regarding who you are, your majesty is being blocked by your ego saying you are a little nobody. When you start operating for the greater good, that part is washed away. Because you're never thinking about yourself. Your focus of attention, not me anymore, is focused, what about this, what will happen here? So your focus has been taken away from this small me, small me, to the greater good. You see yourself reflected in others. That's why you can work for them. And when you begin to see yourself in others, This is called spirituality. You are now growing. You're becoming a real master. This is the path of karma. When you work, but work for the greater good, not stopping for your own private, but expand. When you work for the greater good, you are now washing away this wrong notion you have regarding yourself. That I'm just little this me and I'm so intelligent, I'm a man, I'm married. All that is washed away. You've got no time for it. You get carried away for the greater good. And that makes you spiritually enlightened. This is the second pathway, karma marg. It seems easy, it is not easy. Because right from birth, we are kind of strongly attached to this me, my body, my own requirement, my own desires, must fulfill them. You need to slowly break free from that. It's not easy. And one of the best combinations the Hindus have created is they say mix bhakti with karma. So that's a very nice thing I heard from one of the movements. I won't praise one particular movement. They say your bhakti will not be recognized unless it's also matched by selfless activity. Otherwise God says, oh no, even your bhakti is no good for me. Have you done something for somebody else? Nice mixture of bhakti and karma. It's a marvelous way. So I'm just showing you a variation of different paths you can adopt to become spiritual. Using a super personality, building relationship with it, bhakti. Looking for God not in heaven but in humanity and doing selfless activity for the greater good. That too will make you spiritual. And they're not going in different direction, by the way. They'll meet up at the deeper level.
Om Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om